So, as we start to look at the things that we needed to sort of think through and get rid of as far as our metaphorical characters in our head, how do we begin to do that work? Like, how do we get rid of some of the, as I usually call the stinking thinking that we have about ourselves and the audience that we keep keeping in our minds and in our head? Because I want you to remember one thing about this workshop and the work that you're doing today is that this is an inside out approach. And this workshop is just the tip of the iceberg as to what it is that you can do concerning becoming unapologetically you, like really freeing yourself of the expectations of others and becoming the person that you want to be, that you desire to be. So as you take a look at this representative, what comes next? Identifying patterns and repeated cycles. So most of us would say there's a circle, a triangle, a square, a circle, and then a triangle would come next, which would be right if we kept in this cycle. But how about we break the cycle? And this is what I'm talking about a cycle and breaking cycles. Cycles are things that are repeated and they are what they are. So let's take a look at a washing machine, for example. A washing machine washes clothes on cycle A delicately. Now, if you put your jeans on cycle A, then probably they won't come as clean as they need to be because cycle B washes clothes in a heavy duty cycle for jeans. Now, if you put your delicates on cycle B, they're more than likely going to be shredded or torn up or overwashed and lose their color or their shape because it wasn't designed to wash delicately. And each cycle in our lives are designed to do what they're designed to do. There is really nothing you can do about a cycle except change and make a new cycle for yourself. So spring is spring, winter is winter, fall is fall. Everything is a cycle in life and everything has a pattern in which it occurs. Now you have to decide what pattern you want to set for yourself. So you can start a new pattern. So instead of a triangle coming next, you can put a rectangle or you can put a trapezoid or you can put anything you want. This is your free canvas to create what you want your life to look like. And so think about what shape would you put next? And so, what I need you to do now is to download the workbook. And in the workbook has places for you to think about the different type of cycles that you've been going through in your life, like really identifying them. And then what happens next is there's a step process for you to go ahead and go to plan the first step, the next step, the next step after that. And then after you plan those steps, there is a place for you to do a whole little new movie scene, like really rewrite the script, like change your metaphorical characters, change the belief devil, the one that has you believing the negative into a positive belief system. Change the people pleaser puppeteer into only pleasing God or pleasing yourself and not always having to please others. And I'm not saying that we don't get along with people and we try to, connect with them, but let's connect with them in a different way other than becoming a people pleaser. And so start to think about how the repeated cycles in your life can be changed. And then choose one of those cycles that you have identified to create the next steps to and the first steps and the next steps. So the first thing that I had to do was sit down as we did before and evaluate why I had landed where I had landed. So I had landed in a place where I didn't have a job. I couldn't take care of myself. I was on drugs. I was repeating everything on a day-to-day basis. I had become robotic in nature, and I didn't care about anything, and I didn't feel like anything cared about me. Like, really, how did I get there? What was the one thing that happened in my life that caused me to be there? And I focused on that. And really, one of the major things that happened started when I was 7. And typically, we might have to go all the way back that far. And that happened when my mother became mentally ill, and I had to take on a different perspective in life. I no longer mattered, but everything else mattered around me because I became a caregiver, a mother figure, a housekeeper. I became everything except for a child. I had to give up my childhood. I could no longer really just go outside and play with my friends. I had responsibilities. And so as I began to grow in my life, I started to figure out how to escape some of those responsibilities through all of that running. And the older I got, the more things I needed to escape. So I started using drugs to escape some more. And then I found myself just always wanting to just be in escape land. And I had to change that cycle of always wanting to be in escape land. So when I realized, my first step was to stop the drugs. And so I embarked upon that journey before I could do anything else. I had to stop living in escape land. So I hope that this workshop helps you to identify things in your lives that you need to change. And I also hope that it will allow you to think about continuing this journey with me. I promise you that I will take you on a journey of self-fulfillment, that your soul would be so filled that it's going to overflow onto everybody who you come in contact with. This is called Fill Your Soul, Sister, for a reason, because I am so filled up that I want to share this with everybody I come in contact with. So you don't have to take as long as I've taken, and you don't have to waste the years that I've wasted to become unapologetically you. So now comes the place where we want to ask the questions, like, what questions should we ask? How does that look? Here are some questions to consider. How can you use the power within yourself to transform your life positively? Because this has to come from the inside to the outside. No external factors are going to be able to help you change the individual that you are now to better yourself or become who you desire to become unapologetically you. In what ways can you shift your personal narrative to promote positive change? What way can you systematically, either bit by bit or in giant leaps, change your narrative, change your story to read to be the story that you want it to be? What cycles in your life can you identify, and how can you break free from them? You have to break free from the cycle because you cannot actually change the cycle itself. We cannot change spring, summer, winter, and fall from coming. We can move to a different place where there may be summer all the time, possibly, or every time there's summer, we move to a place where it's summer. But you can't change the rotation of spring, summer, winter, and fall. It is what it is. So you have to change how you look at it, or how you perceive it, and how you receive it. So, and what can you do about it? Like, how do you operate in it? Or how do you create your own? You decide. So I hope to see you on the other side. You can choose multiple things. You can book a call with me right now so that we can discuss where you fall at on the continuum of brokenness that I will take you through in order to get you free. You can just automatically join the program and join the next cohort of people who have decided to make this change for themselves. Thank you for joining me on this workshop. I hope to see you on the other side.